Here's an update that I wish I had a better one for you. A lot of you guys have been following my battle here in Pasadena to get municipal internet to Pasadena. As you guys know, tomorrow, as of the recording of this, tomorrow, which will be Tuesday, May 8th, there is going to be a city meeting. We got it on a municipal agenda. To catch you up to speed real quick, in January, I showed up to the city council meeting. A bunch of other activists in the area showed up with me, which was great. We made the case for municipal internet in Pasadena. There were a lot of us at the city hall meeting, so they put it on a municipal agenda. That takes a while, so that's happening tomorrow. They're going to talk about bringing municipal internet to Pasadena. One thing that they do, and I can go ahead and I'm going to tweet this right now so you guys can follow along if you want. One thing that they do is they will they will post the agenda for the municipal agenda. They'll post it in advance. So what I'm tweeting out right now is the agenda for municipal internet that we're going to hear tomorrow. And I could not be more disappointed. So I'm scrolling through this thing now. First of all, I'm pretty sure the words net neutrality are nowhere in this presentation. They talk about what broadband is. They talk about the 3 incumbent providers of residential wired internet service. These are their words. They talk about Spectrum, AT&T, and Frontier. They talk about what Charter offers, what Charter may offer in the future. Same with AT&T, same with Frontier. They talk about in the future what we can expect. Here's something from the presentation itself that I just tweeted. In the future, what can we expect? Private sector provides investments in technology upgrades, and service expansion will be driven by consumer demand, competition, ease of access to public infrastructure. They talk about other muni fiber to home investments that other communities in the area are making, i.e. Beverly Hills. They also talk about Santa Monica. They talk about San Francisco's public-private partnership, and they kind of poo-poo it. Then they talk about other communities that rely on public sectors. So what do they want Pasadena to do in conclusion? Encourage private sector providers to meet residential broadband needs. So here's a summary. The summary of all this is they use this opportunity to talk about municipal internet to Pasadena. They use this opportunity to promote the private ISPs. They are saying that the private ISPs are all we need, ISPs being internet service providers, AT&T, Spectrum, and that we're fine. And that we can't afford municipal broadband anyway, and that it's not necessary. The words net neutrality are found nowhere in this presentation. Absolutely nowhere. This completely ignores why we were there in the first place. And this completely ignores why municipal broadband is 110% necessary. What this says is that local government, in my case, is not on my side. So there are people all across the country now having a similar fight to me. And someone emailed me the other day and said that now their mayor is all about net neutrality. They weren't familiar with the issue. And now that they're familiar with it, they're keeping an eye on it. They might sign the petition, the person said to me, which is great. So in their case, their local government is working with them. In my case, they're not. And this presentation proves that they're not. And, I mean, the words net neutrality aren't even in the entire presentation. So, ever since I've looked at this, it's been kind of hard. I looked at this when I was on Catalina Island. I literally looked at it because I couldn't wait. Like, I felt like a little kid around the holidays, right? Like, I see the agenda and I'm like, this is it. This is what we've worked for. Let's see what they have to say. And honestly, I would have preferred that I just open the document and it's just a poster of a middle finger and it just would have said, do you want municipal internet? Well, fuck you. Because that would have been shorter. I mean, that's pretty much what we're saying. If we could summarize this, they're basically saying, you want municipal internet? Go fuck yourself. Fuck you. We're not doing it. That would have been easier to read, shorter to read. So, oh no, I'm still going. I'm still going. And for anybody watching this that you're in the Pasadena area, that you've been part of my battle, please don't get discouraged from showing up. Because I will be speaking when they open it up to public comments. And I will be bringing this up. And my goal is to speak before they give the presentation. I'm going to say, just so you know, the presentation that we're going to see has nothing to do with why we're here, and it is just a PR piece for big corporate internet service providers. So this proves, you are going to watch local government prove to you, to your face, that they serve corporate interests, not you. This presentation proves that the city of Pasadena does not care about its residents at all. At all. If they were just trying to mess with me, it's not going to work. It's going to backfire on them. Because I'm still going tomorrow. And I hope everybody else that was still planning on going tomorrow will go tomorrow. This clip will be out before Tuesday. I will spread it to all the appropriate activist groups. And, you know, for those watching that this applies to you, if you decide it's better to not attend tomorrow, I totally respect that. Don't attend. That's fine. I encourage you to attend anyway. I will be there anyway. And I will be saying my piece. And I will be saying in a very polite and diplomatic manner that they're proving that they really don't care about residents. That this is a PR fluff piece for ISPs. The people that want to strip the open internet from you. The reason why we're here. And you don't even mention net neutrality in your presentation. That proves either A, you don't know what net neutrality is, which if that's the case, you're not qualified to have your job. You need to step down. You're not qualified to be here. You should step down. Philip Leclerc is the author of this presentation. That is the Chief Information Officer. So, Chief Information Officer. If you are a Chief Information Officer of a community as big as Pasadena, which is a pretty big town, you know, you're not qualified to have your job if you don't know what net neutrality is. You are underqualified for your job. You haven't kept up enough to keep your job. I'm sorry. And if you're going to use an opportunity when activists through the grassroots have gotten something on a municipal agenda and you turn and use that opportunity to promote AT&T and Spectrum, you're either profoundly ignorant, which maybe you are. Maybe you are that ignorant. In which case, again, you need to step down. You're not qualified to have your job. You need to step down. You're not doing a service to yourself. You're not doing a service to Pasadena. You're not doing a service, honestly, to the country. Because every municipal internet victory gets national attention. Every mesh network victory gets national attention. So you're doing an incredible disservice. So either you're profoundly ignorant or you're slapping us in the face. So, okay. Either way, the next step involves fighting local government instead of working with local government. And that's disappointing, but, you know, my next step will be who needs to run against this person. You know, is it an appointed position? Does it just require somebody getting on city council, taking up that position? And how do we get some mesh networks? They quote, at some point in the presentation, they quote $130 million. They say that's how much it would take to bring municipal broadband to Pasadena, which if you divide that per household, which I've already done, that ends up being almost about $200 per household a month, which is a lot. That's way too much. But what city resources could they put towards that money? And the bigger question here, how did they get that number? I mean, this presentation, if you look at the presentation, I'm not going to go through it one slide at a time, especially since it's a bunch of corporate garbage. It's pretty much just propping up corporate interests, saying that private sector is the way to go, and telling the rest of us be damned. So all of their data is manipulated into fitting that agenda. So obviously they're going to try to tell that story. So I don't know where they got the $130 million from. They don't tell us. But if I was in charge of this project, my first step, I would bring some of the people from New York that are doing the mesh networks. I would fly them in, and I would have them be like, hey, how much would it cost for us to have residential broadband? How much would that cost us? And I'd have them give me a number, and I bet you it would be less than $130 million. I bet you it would be a number that would be affordable for people to pay for their internet each month. I bet you that's what would happen. So that's the update. I really hope everybody that was planning on attending with me tomorrow still does. I think it's even more important that we're going to be there. And I plan on saying my piece, and I plan on calling this, quote, presentation what it is. And then I look forward to hearing the presentation afterwards. But I will get there very early. I will sign up for public comment. And I hope to say that piece. So that's the update there. I wish it was better. But that's the update. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.